And ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another episode of It's Me Speaking to You. I am always your ever faithful host, Jeffrey Wilson, coming to you live and direct from the gateway to the West. And today, it's my bro with the fro on the show today, ladies and gentlemen. I've been following this cat, man, for a hot minute, man. I was fortunate enough to meet this gentleman. It's been a few years now, man, and then kind of see him navigating his way, bobbing and weaving through the worlds of sports talk radio here in St. Louis. Now he's got himself his own podcast, Who's to Blame? Ladies and gentlemen, Dre Montez is blessing us today. What's up, brother?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I am fantastic, man. As I said off air, brother, every single day above ground is a good day, so, keep it moving and keep it in perspective. And like you said, keep it positive.
That's all you have to do, man. That's all the people have to do.
Keeping it positive. That's what I'm talking about. So, man, talk to me, Goose, brother. Remember, we met several years ago, and, you had you had already done some radio work, and I think around the time when we broke apart or stopped, seeing each other, you were moving and still in the radio game, and you moved back, and tell me how this has all kind of come to fruition, man. Like I said, you've done bob and weave in the terrestrial radio, if you will, and like I said, now you got your own podcast. How'd that all take shape, my man? How'd the radio bug bite you?
Oh, man, the way the bug bit me, man, I was a truck driver in Charlotte, North Carolina, to make a long story short. Became a groupie of a show and used to go to all the remotes, and I met the right people, got a job in sales. One day I went in and do some research, and I had the opportunity to sit in and take some calls with a show. Got the bug, and boom, and I was part of just a Saturday show, and then it went from there, and the opportunity came here in St. Louis, where I'm originally from. Took advantage of that, and you know how the game of radio.
Ooh, I think we may have.
And I was able to. Am I there?
Yeah, I think we lost you for a hot second.
Okay. All right. As I said, when I left Carolina, I ended up getting a job here in St. Louis. And then, after being in radio from, here and there, you figure out certain things on what you want to do. And I kind of found that niche. So I did a little investigative work, a little bit more research into podcasting, and it seems to fit me.
So for you, your world is sports. I mean, you're a sports guy, and obviously, when I met you before, there was another. We can get into it here in a little bit. You have a serious passion for softball, which I find quite fascinating. But So when you came back here to St. Louis, what was your? I mean, obviously, you chose sports is your thing. So any particular sport other than softball? Like, why the sports aspect?
Because it's what I do, and I spend hours and hours of watching sports, playing sports, talking sports, and it's all I know about. I know about that in entertainment. I'm a movie buff, so to speak, and I love the rom-coms, things like that, and goofy comedies. I'm not into too much of that sci-fi, so I can keep the conversation going. And everybody has a political show, so I just thought, why not put a different twist on it? Because not everybody look at sports the way I look at sports. Like, I can look at a sports game with the television down, but I'm looking at the hot woman in the background. Things like that. I'm looking at the game from that perspective sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, I just can't look at the game. I got to have a little bit more involved into it. So I chose to take that route, and it seems to be working for me, man. I'm not going to lie. It seems to be working for me very good.
Well, yeah, like I said, I've been a fan, man, and I've been catching your current podcast, Who's to Blame. And, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be able to provide a link to that at the bottom of the interview here. But what's your – obviously sports across the board, but what do you I remember last spring, I think it was, I saw you – making some moves with the NBA, trying to snag an NBA, or just in the talks with certain people about NBA coming to St. Louis. What was that all about?
Yeah, see what had happened when North Carolina had passed that bathroom law. I can't remember what proposition it was or what bill it was about the gender and all that. Well, at that time, the NBA was supposed to be having the NBA All-Star game there, which is coming up in a few weeks. And they had put up for grabs, who could possibly be the host. So I contacted the NBA, called them 147 times in a row, left a message, went on Twitter and did like about 200 tweets about the NBA in St. Louis because, I think we can do it. At first, I didn't think St. Louis could ever host a NBA All-Star game, but I've been to a couple. And knowing what's downtown and what we can do and what we're capable of doing when it comes to entertaining the people with money, You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can do it. We have the venues. We have the beautiful people. You know, I mean, this is the it town, I think. So why not let us host an NBA All-Star game here? So I just try to get a little noise that way.
And so what was the, I mean, obviously I think nothing came of, I mean, not nothing came of it, but I don't think, so what came of that? Obviously you've created contacts in this regard. So what are your plans?
Well, I was on a few radio stations down in New Orleans because I was kind of talking trash about New Orleans because they get to host it. I mean, they get to host every damn thing. Let's face it. Between New Orleans and Miami, when are we ever going to win? And now Vegas is in on the scene. Don't get me started, Jeff.
Yeah, no, that's what we're here for, baby. Let it rip.
I mean, it's just like they're forgetting about the middleman, but every time somebody want to go somewhere with their family or take a long trip, why is St. Louis always on the conversation? Why can't we be in the conversation as far as being an entertainment city?
But I mean, I think it's probably, you know, I mean, not to jump into Stan Kroenke's mind, but isn't it kind of a dollar and cents thing? We're not the biggest media market in the world.
But see, that's the problem. All these tech kids need to go somewhere and party. Am I right or am I right? You need somewhere to go let off some steam.
Sure.
So why don't these tech companies go ahead and put a little money into something? Why don't we get the Square, Mr. Dorsey involved? Let's go back to the St. Louis money that left here. That's from St. Louis, that's making money. Put back into this city. Let's use their money for that.
Sure.
Well, that'll never happen.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't see. I mean, you know, Kroenke dipped out. There's the talk of the MLS, the soccer team, which is, you know, running into resistance as far as funding it goes. You know, I mean, obviously we're a huge sports town as far as baseball and hockey, but I don't know, man. I don't know if that's translating into, like you said, the basketball. Obviously not football.
Oh, I was waiting on that question right there, my man. Because a couple years ago, I did my homework. Do you know when the Blues are in the playoffs, and the NBA playoffs are going on as well, more people watch the NBA than the Blues? You can check that.
I don't doubt that.
The NBA is what's watched.
I don't doubt that at all. I'm talking about, no, and I'm sure you're right. St. Louis proper, though, the people, the populace of St. Louis, I mean, they've been diehard Blues fans, even though the Blues suck. Sorry, Blues fans. I mean, traditionally they haven't been a good team. It's easy to like the Cardinals because they've been, you know, they win all the damn time. But
I don't think it's rap. I think Blues fans are getting a bad rap because look who they're held up against. They held up against the Cardinals.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Nobody's getting a fair rap. If they were any other town, we'd probably be satisfied. We wouldn't know any better about winning. But since we got accustomed to the winning and almost getting that title town feeling, we feel let down every time.
So do you think basketball could come in here and just not take over, but could be popular just like any of the other sports, baseball, hockey, football before it left, even though it wasn't that popular? Do you think it could get that kind of turnout from the St. Louis, you know?
No doubt about it. You know what? If I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina when the Hornets were there, and the Hornets played in an industrial part of North Carolina. They didn't play in downtown. They played in an industrial park. If that ball team can do it, if NASCAR can make it on the West Coast, the NBA can make it here in St. Louis.
I don't disagree. But like North Carolina, for example, has in my opinion, a much deeper history, if you will, of sports. You got your Tar Heels. You know, it just.
But not in Charlotte. Not in Charlotte.
I mean, North Carolina at large. You know, Missouri. Yeah. We're kind of just a Cardinal state, really. I mean, I know there's a Chiefs and. So, I mean, I just wonder. When I saw you doing that, I was like, I found it interesting because I know they did have it was the Hawks here back in the day, correct?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the NBA All-Star Game in Vegas, for goodness sakes, a few years ago. Do you remember that? They had the NBA All-Star Game in Vegas. And everybody said sports would never work in Vegas. They have a hockey team, Jeff.
I mean, hell, boxing's been there forever. MMA and UFC's been there forever. So, I mean, I definitely doubt that, or, you know, don't agree with that kind of perception of Vegas. And they were trying to snag a football team as well. Weren't they in the mix for the Rams or Oakland or something?
They're going to get a football team. They're going to get a Major League Baseball team. They're going to get an NBA team. They're going to be host of 4 major sports.
Well, clearly perceptions have changed.
Yes.
And like you said, and that's
bottom dollar.
And I think that could translate here. I just don't see. I don't know, man. I see St. And I'm not from here. I've been here a while, but I mean, I kind of see like the Rams leaving is kind of indicative of kind of the general perception of St. Louis. Like, I'd rather go set up shop elsewhere. I'd rather go spend my money elsewhere. Especially, a lot of the tourist stuff is what drives this, and then that's downtown, and downtown gets such a bad rap now. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's willing to invest here anymore, right now anyway.
I think the wrong people are speaking for downtown sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking the person that is talking, but I think the wrong person is trying to sell our city to the right people that want to invest.
Well, you got, FBI, the FBI saying we're the most dangerous, whatever. I know that might be, whatever. We just get lumped in with East Side or whatever, but I mean, that's a pretty strong statistic from a pretty authoritative, source, the FBI. That's not, just a journalist talking smack about downtown. You know what I mean? These are crime statistics.
I mean, crime is going to be everywhere. Anywhere you put a sports franchise or team, in St. Louis, the city is not that big at all.
Right.
Of course, the numbers are going to be high. They're going to be very high. But if we break it down to per county and per municipality in the city, the numbers will be very, very small. It's like crime in the NFL. We think it's really bad, but if we break it down, it's less than 1% that gets in trouble.
But you know how it is. The media will will drum up that kind of perception, and perception becomes reality regardless of whether it's, accurate or not. You know what I mean?
Right. That's why I don't believe in internet dating at all.
Well, like I said, in reality or not, I think that could be something that could potentially scare away like another football team down the line or basketball team. Right? It doesn't happen all the time, but that guy got shot leaving the Cardinals game, that soldier, and was paralyzed. I mean, it's just like, it doesn't help when stuff like that happens. I mean, like you said, you're right. There's crime in Vegas. There's hella crime in Vegas. Like when you have.
Look at the Raiders this year. There were beatdowns at the Raiders games all year.
I know. That's
the Dodgers
crazy.
Baseball game a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The Chicago White Sox, the father and son running on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you break it down, there's a problem every game. If we really wanted to know, there's a problem at every sporting event.
Without a doubt.
There's some type of problem all the time.
But, I mean, like the owners, the police, everyone's willing to deficit that kind of inconvenience because they're making so much damn money. You know what I mean? If they were struggling and all this crap was happening, it would just create that kind of mass exodus. No one would show up. But since like the teams are doing good or whatever, they're in a bigger market, it kind of gets lost in the shuffle of sorts. I could be completely wrong.
I totally agree.
Well, hell, man, kudos to you, brother. I mean, there's a lot of people I know that were congratulating you on your efforts to do that, but like you said, I'm sure you probably got some good contacts, and they now know the name of Dre Montez.
Yes, sir, they do know the name Dre Montez.
So what is next, my man? I know you just launched the show here a few months ago. I mean, I know, like I said, you've been on and off radio here in St. Louis and all over. What do you have next planned, dude? Because, everyone is kind of jumping on this podcast format. And it really, I dig it. I honestly dig it. Everyone's got a podcast, but that's okay, because ultimately the cream will rise to the top like it always does. And you're one of them cats, brother, that I definitely see you doing some things, man. What do you got planned for 2017?
Well, actually, man, thank you for asking that question. I'm actually got something really, really, really different working. I'm going to keep with the podcast and it's just going to be a different mode that I present it. Right now I do it from different locations. Mm-hmm. Like tomorrow I'm doing one from downtown. TGI Fridays tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I'm having like a coaches roundtable tomorrow. I'm going to have the coach there from St. Mary's, Corey Bethany, who's the head coach there, and also he is president of the Junior Football Coaches Association. So I'm going to have him on there tomorrow night. But it's just a different mode I'm going to do, Who's to Blame with Dre Montez, as well as special presentation during Cardinal home games. So you'll get a chance to see that. Yeah.
That's coming up here too. When spring training and all that, that should be kicking off here in another month or two, right?
Yeah, man, it's getting real close. I mean, this is like crunch time. After I cry after the game in 2 weeks, after February 5th, I get tuned up and ready for NASCAR, and then, it's baseball season after that. So it's nonstop.
That's what's up, dude. I've always, and it's weird, when I was so much younger, man, I was way into sports, and then I slowly started tailing off, and I was only into like the playoffs and Super Bowls, and then after a while, I just was kind of persona non grata when it came to sports, because MMA and UFC entered and pride fighting, and that just like just took me kind of over. But I find it so fascinating, man, the cats who, like yourself, man, just deeply entrenched and then getting into the fantasy conversation and metrics. And, I mean, it's so deep now, dude. It's like, damn.
Yeah, I'm never bored, Jeff. I'm never bored.
I mean, you can't be. There's so much content, sports content, like I said, and then you have your offshoots of it, which is the fantasy stuff. Man, you can stay busy.
It's nonstop. It really is. And then I got my video game play I got to pull off too as well.
What's your game? What's your game of choice?
Besides Madden, right now I'm going with Major League Baseball, the show.
Okay, so again, straight sports.
Yeah, I'm trying to win the World Series before the new game comes out March 28th. I've come close once. I got to do it again. I'm in year 2026, so I have a problem, Jeff.
You have there's numbers you could call. So is it one of them custom all Madden kind of teams, or are you go playing up with a certain squad?
Actually, created a player. You get drafted. So I actually play right now for the San Francisco Giants right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It keeps me busy. And I play games with the season. Like, I'm pretty much done with Madden already. Right now, just getting ready for the big game and just hearing all the lies and secrets over the next 10 days. That'll be fun.
Yeah, again, that's one of those things that I've started paying attention here in the last. I was joking with my best friend the other day. I'm so out of the loop, brother. I'm talking about how's Ricky Waters doing? You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm just lost. I'm saying I'm kind of half joking, but it's just like, I don't even know who cats are anymore, man. I know who a couple cats are.
Man.
I know. But
it's still a fun game.
So who do you got, man? I know the big games coming up. I mean, obviously I know Aaron Rodgers, I know Tom Brady. I mean, they do just like pisses excellence. What do you got?
Well, I'm a Bronco fan, so we already out of this conversation. But I was rolling with Dallas and Pittsburgh in a Super Bowl matchup. Well, both of those damn teams let me down. So it looked like it's going to be Atlanta playing the New England Patriots. And right now, the heavy favorite is Matty Ice. Now.
Yeah. Do you ever see the show? And I don't peep it too often, but I dig the format and I dig how they promote it. I think it's the Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. I think not Shannon Sharp, but it's where they're like facing off. I don't even remember the. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp have a show.
Yeah. I could totally see you and somebody else in a very similar format like that. Seriously, dude. Definitely. I mean, because
that'll be a lot of fun during football season, because I follow college football as well. But baseball is just too. I can't do baseball every single day. Have the conversation on the score of a 4-5 game or a 6-2 game. I can't do that every day. I can break down a series and go from there, but not every day. Football is week to week. That's a lot more fun.
You have a little bit more room to breathe too. Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah. Because baseball, right now, everybody's going to find out everybody's secret over the next week and a half.
So, did you answer? I'm sorry. Brady, who do you got, Patriots or the Falcons?
I got the Patriots winning this. Terrific Tom. He's not going to lose, dude. He's going to come down as the best quarterback. Oh, my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. In the NFL.
Again,
the best quarterback in the NFL.
I crack up when people, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's not funny that people get so viscerally emotive, they beat people up or whatever, but like, what's his, damn, I'm so bad with these names, man, but the dude who hates Dallas and was just just pissing all over Dallas, man. Stephen S. Smith. It just killed me because that just like blew up it's just crazy. People just were going off on him. It's just weird, man. It's a game, man. I get it.
When everybody wants to be good and they're winning and they're winning, I mean, the ultimate thing you want to do in the NFL, you want to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
You winning 10 games and going home early don't mean nothing. The ultimate prize and the goal is to win the game and to win the Super Bowl. That's the bottom line.
Right.
I don't care how many playoff wins you have. I don't care. How many Super Bowl victories do you have? I mean, this is the Patriots' 9th Super Bowl.
Right.
We've seen Tom Brady in 7 of them. There's something wrong with that, Jeff. People don't like them because they found out they were cheating.
And I've already heard rumors of it from last week. I mean, I didn't go deep into it, but I've already heard mutterings of Belichick cheated again. I don't know what it was.
Oh, no. It's because now the Trump-Brady relationship has come out. Then, the evidence that they've cheated before. Tom Brady baby mom is fine. Bridget Moynihan.
Maybe she
wife
is fine too.
Gisele Bundchen. I mean, who does that?
Right.
I mean, a guy like that, he stormed out of his basement the day of the draft because he didn't get drafted. His dad had to follow him down the street and get him and said, son, it's going to be okay. Now look at him. And people call him Terrific Tom for a reason.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I've said it once. I've said it twice. Him, the Manning boys, they need to just start putting themselves out to stud $1 million a drop, dude, and just like call it a day. Seriously. Dude,
it does seem like that's how they make them in Alabama.
I don't know what the hell it is, dude, because like you said, that's some excellent that's pretty hardcore. And like the Manning boys, for two brothers to be on that level, it's like, come on, man.
I mean, if Cooper wouldn't have got hurt, I bet Cooper would have been nice too. But Cooper had that injury, had that crazy injury. I think all three of them could have played in the pros.
Insane. Brother, shout me out some social networking. Where can we find you, your show? What you got going on, my friend?
All right, you can go to SoundCloud.com and just / Dre Montez, or you can follow me on Twitter at W2B Dre Montez. Follow me on Facebook, Who's to Blame. I have a page, and that's Who's to the number 2 Blame. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Dre Montez. That's the best way to get a hold of me.
Covering all them bases, and like I said, I will link all of that to the YouTube video here. Mr. Dre Montez, Andre Moore Sr., brother, thank you so very much for your time, man, and continued success, man. I've been following you, so keep up the good work, my friend.
You as well, my man. You do the same thing as well, especially in front of that camera, dude.
Yeah, we're working at it, man. We're working at it. It's all a work in progress, brother.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff.
Thank you. Take care, my friend. Dre Montez, he is the host of Who's to Blame. Peace and all that love, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. There will be more.